This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, it is my honor and privilege to be able to provide information that is like tools in a toolbox. But these are the tools that are going to be most beneficial in helping you to either change your health journey, or if you're already on a great health journey, be able to maintain it. So we need tools to do both. And on this program, we provide information that can be used as those tools. Now, we are here to basically promote what an amazing design that your body is. We were not made from junk. So you put junk in, what's coming out is not going to be that great. You put the good stuff in, you take care of the temple, and the temple is going to serve you best. And today we're going to be talking more about those good things that go in and why, and also some history into what has made the list of those good things by one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics. Now, folks, this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor is it meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease, nor are the products recommended meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But folks, when you give the body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing things. I just had some crazy stuff go across my screen, so hopefully that's just me. But anyways, if you were referred to this program by anybody specific, make sure that you get back with them. They cared enough about you to share this program with you. And we are a resource for an amazing community. We are live. Yes, we are live. And thank goodness for technology. The lives stay available so that we can continue to use them to help others. Now, if somebody shared this program specifically with you, make sure that you get back with that person. That person cared enough. So care enough to say thank you and let them know what you liked best about the program. This program is being sponsored by DailywithDoc.com, where you will find the things that are mentioned in this program, also the replays, the good foods, bad foods list, But most importantly, make sure if you were referred by somebody specific, you get back with them. So without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to bring to you, not only is he a student of life, a student of agriculture, biology, a student of veterinary medicine, a student of human medicine, a student of pathology with 3 postdoctorates in pathology, but a student of just using all of his senses and connecting dots to figure out what it is that is really going on in the body, whether it's good or bad. If there's bad stuff going on, he was able to connect and find the underlying causes of those bad things. There's good stuff going on. He was able to confirm that those things that would have caused those bad things were not missing. And he found that there are over 600 different poor health conditions specifically related and linked to nutritional deficiencies, not deficiencies in chemicals, not deficiencies in pharmaceuticals, not deficiencies in too many carbohydrates, but nutrition, minerals, vitamins, amino acids, essential fatty acids. So it is my honor and privilege to bring to you one of my favorite doctors, a doctor that actually helped me find my health journey in a direction that I wanted it to be going, get my life back, and be able to do what I do in sharing the message to help others find theirs as well. Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, hello and welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you so very much, and all you do and your team and so forth. Really appreciate all you do. Thank you so very much.
Well, Doc, we wouldn't have as great of purpose as we have without the work that you have done. So thank you for creating this crusade, putting the information together. You are the author of 25 books that are available for public purchase, plus one that's in the Smithsonian Museum that is held as a national treasure, this big boy. And yes, I'm saying big boy. The diseases of exotic animals. Huh?
Yeah, diseases of exotic animals. Yep. Yeah, that was a big project. It was a project it was funded by the National Institute of Health. You got a big grant. I think it was like $12 million to let's see here, to the head of the St. Louis Zoo.
Right. Well, and Dr. Wallach, that $12 million was just a seed that continued to bring in more grants to find more solutions into different health conditions, poor health conditions. And to date, you got over 452 species that you have done autopsies on to find out what caused death.
Okay. Yeah.
And you found that the cause was nutrition. So let's talk about the truth of nutrition, which is actually one of your books titles, Doc. Truth about Nutrition. Yeah, I got one too.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? So, Dr. Wallach, this book kind of goes, and I love how simple this book is. It's easy reading, so we can introduce to our children even more about nutrition. What you missing?
Well, I dropped something. That's okay. Anyway,
Well, show must go on.
The figures, of course, to make the story short, in a period of 12 years, when I did the autopsies, according to that grant, I did 17,500 autopsies on over 454 species of animals and 3,000 human beings who live close proximity to the zoos. I'm just making these circles at various hospitals and so forth and doing all these autopsies. Okay. And in the U.S., when it comes to health and longevity, compared to other countries in the world, we rank 17th. There's 16 other countries whose peoples do a better job of health and longevity than we do. Okay. And our medical doctors, they stand on top of the mountains and beat their chests and say how wonderful they are. But they've missed it by a million miles. Okay. And it's one of those terrible things that you would think if we had, the best medical doctors, we wouldn't have so many health problems. And it's one of those things when you look at the results of that study, oh my gosh, I mean, again, we're talking about 17,500 autopsies over 454 species of animals and 3,000 humans. And and those who were killed by a deficiency of a nutritional element, okay? Nutritional deficiencies. We can document this, okay, both chemically and biochemically and so forth. And you see it on the autopsy table, it's reproducible. You would think it was such an incredible discovery, and especially since veterinarians have been successful in using nutritional supplements for decades to eliminate birth defects and increase healthfulness and longevity in animals and zoo animals, you'd think they would do the same thing for humans. Well, that's not how human doctors work. Human doctors work by making you happy. What?
By easing pain.
By relieving pain. Okay. And so
have diseases been eliminated through painkillers?
No, you cannot eliminate disease with painkillers, but you can eliminate pain with painkillers. And the public was very happy. Oh yeah, I had all this terrible pain for years. And my doctor had this new product that just came out. I'm one of the first ones to get it. And in 15 minutes, my pain was gone. And, it's now a month later, I'm really pain-free. So do you still have, oh yeah, I still have the problem. I don't have any pain. It's gradually getting worse, but I don't have any pain. So that's worthwhile. No.
But as long as I take my pills, I don't have any pain and I'm okay.
That's correct. It's a painkiller. Okay. It's not really getting down to the basic root cause of the problem. And it's kind of like your car. If you have something going on with your car, if you go to one of these car washes and wash your car and it looks beautiful, that doesn't fix the lack of oil in your engine.
No, it definitely does not.
That's where we're at. So this book, The Truth About Nutrition, is part of a set. It's a CD and a DVD, and you can buy them each individually. You can buy them as a set, and you get a nice discount as a set. It's one of those things where if you're going to be giving lectures, if you're going to be telling a story about nutrition to your family, to your workmates, to your your longevity associates and so forth, to your church mates, to your neighbors, you need to be dealing with this book and the CD and the DVD, The Truth About Nutrition. The book, I think, is 131 pages, and goes into all the major health problems that we have. And they're all the sort of things you can get rid of in weeks. You can get rid of them in weeks. So this is a great investment, okay? And I urge you to get the book and the CD and DVD set, Truth About Nutrition. And I'll just give you some idea of what's kind of in there. Let's look at lifespan in America, which is kind of like how many miles can you get out of your car from one tank of gas and that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so let's look at lifespan by states. When you look at the longest lifespan, okay, the average is 79 years in America. We're talking about Americans only, 79 years. Hawaii is 80.7. Let's see, Minnesota is 79.1. Vermont is the same, it's kind of tied. New Hampshire is 79. Washington State is 79.3. Utah and Minnesota 79.1. Colorado, I don't have that one. Let's see here, Massachusetts is 79, California is 79, Oregon is 78.8, and Vermont is 78.8. Okay, that's the longevity of the top 10 or 12 states. When you look at the lowest states, okay, Mississippi is 72.8, West Virginia is 72.8, Louisiana is 73.1, Alabama is 73.2, Kentucky 73.5. And again, we rank 17th in the world when it comes to what's going on. Now, the shortest lived country, the shortest states, the ones that live the least, okay, is Mississippi, lives to be 72.8, West Virginia 72, Louisiana 73.1, Alabama 73.2, Kentucky 73.5. Japan, the country of Japan, lives to be 84.2. They're the longest lived of all the countries. England is 77.5 in the males and 81.7 in females. That's in England. Well, they beat us like crazy. Okay. And then you look at Germany, 81.1. Let's see here. Males are 78.7 and females are 83.0. Females in Germany. France is 82 and Russia is 70.1. Males are 65.5 and females are 74.0. Okay. Now, obviously, these aren't all the countries, but it gives you some sense that there's, half a dozen countries that do much better than we do. And, our doctors get on top of the mountain and beat their chests and say how wonderful a job they've done, how good we have it. We rank 17th in the world, and yet we spend half the world's expenditure of money for treatments of diseases. We spend half annually, we spend half, okay? And it's one of those things, we spend half, and we're not getting the best deal here. And it's one of those things where, what should I say, we're looking at trillions of dollars, trillions. They're going into the pockets of medical doctors. And it's one of those things where you have to say, okay, is it all worth it? Well, if a 10-cent aspirin will give you the same relief as a $25 pill from the doctor, well, I don't have to pay for it. Insurance pays for it. Oh, okay. So the insurance companies are the ones that are feeding the doctors, okay, and taking your money to feed the doctors. So it's one of those things where the system is built to have the doctors see you on a regular basis, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever, change your medications they need to, but they just keep giving you medication to relieve symptoms as opposed to getting rid of the disease. Now, if that were to go on, with livestock, cattle and sheep and horses and camels and, and that kind of stuff, there wouldn't be any veterinarians. Okay, the farmers would just kill the animal and eat them, or they would just go into the business of raising crops. Okay, and so it's one of those things where it's look, okay, the metabolic syndrome. Okay, the metabolic syndrome has to do with diseases that we've known about for thousands of years. And they said it was a genetic thing. When they came across the science of genetics, they said, that's why we keep having the metabolic syndrome, because it's a genetic thing. No, it's actually just a simple nutritional deficiency thing. And abdominal obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease, those things all together are a cluster of simple nutritional deficiencies that come together and is called the metabolic syndrome. Okay. And we have a 45-page book that goes into the metabolic syndrome. Okay. And all these other diseases go along with it.
I've got it, Doc.
Okay. You got it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
And then, of course, we have the book, It's All in Your Head. You have osteoporosis of the skull, and it goes into some 50 different diseases that are caused by osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the cranial nerves, squeezing the spinal cord, And when you add that to the book, The Metabolic Syndrome, okay, and then you add that to The Truth About Nutrition, okay, we're talking about trillions of dollars going into the pockets of medical doctors each year, and the diseases don't go away. Okay, we just get relief of symptoms, and that's very scary. So with that, I'd urge you to get a hold, the book's Hell's Kitchen, get a hold of the book. It's on your head, get a hold of the book. Metabolic Syndrome, get a hold of the book, The Truth About Nutrition, and you will add many healthy years to your life. You'll save yourself an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. You'll save yourself an enormous amount of money. Okay. And so, just let's look at another thing in this book.
Doc, can I tell them how they can get a hold of these books?
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
So Dr. Wallach, he actually, what he does is, the way he makes his money is through his publications. And you can go to Wellness Publications website by going to drjwallach.com. There you will find all the books that he has published, including some CDs and DVDs, or you can call 800-755-4656. That is from 9 to 5 p.m. Pacific time, that they do have staff there in Wellness Publications Distribution Center, there to take your calls. So again, through the website, drjwallach.com, or by calling the office at 800-755-4656. So, Dr. Wallach, you were mentioning a bunch of numbers there. That's the average, right? And when I think about that, and all the money that goes into longevity for the United States, there's a lot of people that are barely hanging on because of pharmaceuticals to make it to that average number, which is not very good, because that just, you look at other countries and what they spend on their medical systems, and it is far, far less than us. They're doing less by way of medical intervention, and they're living longer. Something doesn't make any sense, Dr. Wallach.
Well, you're exactly
right. So what is it?
And this is why we came out. That's why we came out with the books, so people could educate themselves. They do a lot of self-education to take care of their car, to take care of their electrical system, okay, to do gardening and that kind of stuff. And so it's long overdue that we do the same thing for ourselves. We depended too much upon the medical profession to be in charge of our health and longevity. And they have failed us. They have failed us. They make us happy, but the result is they're relieving pain, but we still don't live 10 years longer like we should. Okay, let's just look here at page, let's see here, 68. Okay, the title inside that page here, the book, okay.
Truth About Nutrition?
Yeah, The Truth About Nutrition. Okay, and of course we have the book Epigenetics. We have the book Rare Earths Preventing Cures. We have all these books that go into all these preventions and cures, and I urge you to get them for your family. And once a week, read a couple of pages out loud after dinner with dessert or something like that, and everybody will do better. So let's just look at this page 68. Okay, Meet the Centenarians in this book. Okay, and it says, this is me, I'm talking now. I began to collect birth announcements and obituaries of people who lived to be 100. I wanted to see what happened to people who reached that achievement and joined that group. And what I found surprised me. I had an open mind. These were not people who come to mind when you think of little old men, little old women. Centenarians are amazing. Here are just a few of them. Ralph Charles from Somerset, Ohio, was the subject of a local newspaper article when he turned 100 in 1999. The fascinating thing was that at 100, he was still piloting charter airline flights. He was still piloting charter airline flights at 100 years of age. Okay. Now, to me, that's great because he's still functional, still able to interpret things, control things. And let's see here. He used his single engine Aeronca Defender aircraft, and he didn't have any restrictions on his license. When you look at the photograph that accompanies the newspaper article, he doesn't look what you'd expect a decrepit 100-year-old to look like. He looks very vibrant. He looks more like he's in his 70s or early 80s. He's 100 years old, okay? And at the publication, at the time of the publication of that newspaper story, he was still flying his plane. He doesn't have any Alzheimer's disease or any other dementias. He doesn't get into the sky and ask his engineers where he's at or what he's supposed to be doing. He does it all. Okay, his memory's good. Okay, he doesn't have any problems there. Okay, another one, Connie Reeves, turned 101 in September of 2002. At that age, she was inducted into the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame. Her personal motto was, always sell your own horse. To me, she looks like she is one of those feisty people who wouldn't listen to a doctor. In the newspaper photo, she has her thumbs up, okay, and she has her shoulders back, and she's has her chin jutting out. You can just imagine the doctor saying to her, look, Connie, you're 101 years old and you should retire. And give up salt. And we have to worry about your blood pressure. So, and you have to give up eggs and butter. We have to worry about your cholesterol. And she's going to say, no way, mister, that isn't happening. I've been eating this salt and eggs and butter since before you were born, and I'm not going to give them up. You can almost hear that conversation when you look at her photograph, because she's definitely not a shrinking violet. She's a cowgirl. In May of 2001, Harold Stilson from Deer Beach, Florida, went out and played golf for his 101st birthday, and he hit his 6th hole-in-one. Now you do that. You have to have a strong grip. You have to be able to see 108 yards. You have to be able to have a good eye and hand coordination. You have to have good memory and all that kind of stuff. And from his picture in the newspaper, that's in color coordinated in the way he dresses, it doesn't get any better than that for a 101-year-old athlete. Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay. And then there's Antonio Todd from Tiana, the province of Neuro, Sardinia, a rural community. In January 2001, he turned 112. He attributed his longevity to drinking 1 glass of red wine every day. Now, there's a certain amount of validity to that because of red wine. There were these antioxidants, which we know reduce your risk of heart disease and cancer. But you can get the same antioxidants from fruit and vegetables. So it doesn't necessarily mean to drink wine every day. It doesn't seem to matter what you eat as long as you keep your carbohydrates down and your vitamins and minerals up. That seems to be the common thread between all centenarians. Okay, keep your carbohydrates down and your vitamins and minerals up. Then we'll stop at this one here. Dora Ramathebe.
well, Doc, if I may ask, what country was it that the gentleman contributed drinking a glass of wine in? Where was he at?
Let's see here. He was from a rural community in Sardinia.
Okay, so outside the United States, where the United States puts a bunch of stuff in their processing that is outlawed in other countries. So that doesn't mean, folks, to go out and start drinking red wine here in the United States or any type of first world country. Please don't do that, because they have a different process in their wine. But go ahead. Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to interject that.
Okay. And then there's Dora Ramathebe, Pasluros, South Africa. I was born in 1881, and she turned 114 when she was asked what she attributed her health and secret of longevity to. She said she ate locusts, grasshoppers every day. And of course, that's just her
Protein. Fiber.
yeah, and a little fiber. But basically, she was getting minerals from the water. Okay, she was cooking bones and having the bone broth and all that kind of stuff. And so it's one of those things where this she was not giving the whole story because she just, what should I say? She just didn't tell the whole story. And the only carbohydrate in her diet was a little bit of that dried fruit she got in her protein from locusts. And the tortoise meat she ate. She got her essential fatty acids from pumpkin seeds. And if she ate the herbs when they were fresh, she got her vitamin C, folic acid, and beta carotene. Okay, I guess this is the last one. February 2003, Maddie Owens, a farmer field hand and homemaker, mother of 4, passed away at 119. She grew up in South Carolina, and she was born in 1883. And her family was working in the cotton field, and she did too. I guarantee you she didn't have vaccinations. I guarantee you she didn't have antibiotics. I guarantee you she didn't have 3 meals a day. But because I spent 2 years in Africa, and I know what they did with their wood ashes from their cooking fires and their cabbage, tomatoes and beans, and so forth. I bet her parents put their wood ashes from their cooking fires into their gardens. And that's where the minerals came from. Okay. And that's where they were getting their minerals from, by putting the wood ashes from their gardens, into their food, as like salt and pepper and wood ashes. Okay.
So eating things as close to nature as nature has created them, not ultra processed and not heavily influenced by a medical establishment in all of these countries and areas that you've been mentioning, Dr. Wallach.
That's correct.
And that's one thing that I love about naturopathic medicine, is they do a more natural approach to helping their patients obtain or maintain good wellness, which that's one of the last degrees that you obtain, was that to be a naturopathic medical doctor after teaching nutrition at a naturopathic college. So, Doc, through all of your years of schooling and working in the field, what caused you to, one, want to become an author, and 2, start a company that provides nutrition that basically is designed around your research?
Well, the reason for that, of course, is when I did those 17,500 autopsies in animals and 3,000 human beings, and doctors were missing these things like a million miles. I mean, they weren't even coming close to dealing with them. These things just happened over and over and over. That's just part of the life in these communities. Get used to it and so forth. And so growing up on a farm, we didn't have those problems in animals. We didn't have any health insurance for animals. We were giving them all these vitamins and minerals. Our salt blocks we gave them had 25 trace minerals put into the salt blocks. When they're licking the salt, they're getting the trace minerals. Okay. They were also getting vitamins and minerals in their pellets, or food pellets, or alfalfa pellets. We would put, the feed manufacturers say we want all 25 of these minerals put into the pellets, alfalfa pellets. And they would put them in there, and then we had the 25 minerals put into the salt blocks, and we never had to call the veterinarian because the animals never got sick. We shipped them off, a year, when they're a year old or 2 years old, we shipped them off to another farmer who wanted to breed with them, or, raise a herd, or maybe go to be slaughtered and become steaks and chops and ribs and that kind of stuff. But we didn't have the need for any health insurance because we weren't paying out veterinarians every day to treat the animals for diseases that we could get rid of by putting all these nutrients into their little alfalfa pellets.
Doc, you had mentioned 25 trace minerals several times. And in the 90 essential nutrients, You mentioned 60. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Well, these 60 minerals, okay, actually when you look at, our plant-derived minerals,
Yeah, there's a whole list on the container.
Yeah, there's
And
85
it has
minerals
that.
in here. There's 85 minerals in here. Now, these are from plants. These are not ground up rocks. These are from plants. Now, again, you have to remember, let's go back to the days of the Old Testament, the Old Bible. And when you looked at the Old Bible, it had a place in the first couple of chapters, talked about the lands flowing with milk and honey. This is where people believed in the Bible and people followed God's words and people ate the correct way and did all the right stuff. And they lived the land flowing with milk and honey, and they lived to be 120, okay,
Yeah.
200, whatever it was. It's just endless, all the wonderful things that happened to these people who were living in the land flowing with milk and honey. Well, it wasn't cow's milk. It wasn't camel's milk. It wasn't goat's milk. It was glacial milk, because these glaciers were grinding up the rocks up in the top of the mountains, and the rock dust was white, a white powder. You get into these streams coming down the sides of the mountains, and from a half mile away or a mile away, you're seeing these streams coming down the mountains that look like milk coming down the mountains. And these are the places where people lived a long time because they had all these minerals. Now, they could have the same recipe, okay, and not have those minerals in the soil that they were growing their crops in. They're growing the same crops, but the crops only needed 3. We needed 60. Right. But we thought, oh, we're doing that recipe, but it didn't have all those minerals in it.
So one thing that you mentioned several times, Dr. Wallach, is in farming practices, you're not getting the nutrition that you used to be getting in previous times. Yet you just mentioned that the plant-derived minerals have all these minerals. How is it that it can be consistent with having those minerals consistently in a product called plant-derived minerals?
Well, we did something very clever, I thought. We went and we bought 8 mineral mines around the world that are associated with mountains that had glacial milk. Okay, and they all have these minerals. And so this is where we get our plant-derived colloidal minerals, both in the liquid form and also in the powder and the pellets and so forth. And so
okay,
that's what makes us different. We're putting those 60 minerals into every one of our daily diets.
And they're being pulled out of these mines in a sustainable way or a non-toxic way, so that we can continue the consistency of making sure that our bodies are getting what it needs without the toxicity. Now, when you're looking at those trace minerals, some of those things that are mentioned, people do automatically, oh, that's toxic, I can't take that. Like the arsenic. Share with us a little bit, how is it that we can take arsenic in the plant-derived minerals as a trace mineral, yet in abundance, it's very toxic to us?
Well, copper in abundance is toxic. Okay, it's one of those things where there's many essential nutrients that are toxic in large amounts, and so arsenic is one of them. Arsenic will kill viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast, and parasites of all kinds. But also it makes the liver happy. The liver likes to have arsenic because some of the cellular functions require arsenic as a cofactor to work properly. Okay, and so that's why we have it in there. And you'll notice that it's one of those things where if you look at the books, okay, and you look at these hair analyses, that's what I'm looking for. You look at the hair analysis, and you'll see on on the right-hand side, you'll see all these strange minerals that most people never heard of. And one of them is arsenic. And it'll tell you whether it's optimal. It'll tell you if it's toxic amounts and so forth. And so you have access to the ability to track that if you want. But we track it for you because we're putting it in there. So we're making sure that you're getting it in the optimal amount. So you're getting benefit from it. But also you're getting it in safe amounts. So it's not going to hurt you or your family. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And we do have hands up, which is one of the reasons why we do this show live, so that people can come and bring their health questions for Dr. Wallach to address. Now, again, if you are watching us out on the live stream and watching the stream or watching a replay, and you would like to join us live, we are here Monday through Friday, most days except for holidays, from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. You can join us by going to the website DailywithDocZoom.com. Put that in the URL, not always found if you use the Google search, but DailywithDocZoom.com. During the time of 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, you'll be able to join us here Monday through Friday. So, Dr. Wallach, let's go to one of the first hands that is up. And Jill, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Jill, you're on the air.
Hi, Jill. Can you unmute?
Is it Jill?
Jill, Jill. All right, she's not unmuting at the moment. So let's just go over to Phyllis. And then whenever Jill is available, she can unmute. Phyllis, what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Hi, Doc. I have a couple of questions for you that have come in, and one is from AJ, and he was given this question from a cat owner who says that the cat has hyperthyroidism, which is getting dire. It's a female, 4.8 pounds, and the owner is getting anti-nausea medicine from the vet and would like to know, is there a more natural remedy?
Yeah, if you have thyroid problems, okay. We have Ocean's Gold.
So that's okay for the cat then?
Oh, yeah.
And what sort of dosage?
The cat weighs how much?
Almost 5 pounds.
Okay. Well, I would give it to the cat after the cat ate a meal, and just give one of the little tablets of Ocean's Gold to the cat. I'd do it, say, start out once a week, and then after a couple of weeks, I'd go to once every other week, and after a couple of weeks, go every week. One of those tablets every week. It'll take you about 3 weeks to get up to that point. But don't forget Arthrodex. Just read the instructions for the dosage on the weight of that cat.
And then with that capsule of Ocean's Gold, I imagine you'd open it up and sprinkle it on the food.
There you go.
Okay.
Or crush it.
Or crush it.
Crush the tablet.
If it's a tablet, correct. And our next question is from Dave on YouTube. And we don't have any information on Dave specifically, except that he wants to know what to do about dry eyes.
Okay. Dry eyes, of course, we don't know how old this guy is, how much he weighs, does he have any other issues? But we do have Occutive. Let's say per 100 pounds body weight, he needs one Healthy Brain and Heart pack, per month. Okay, per 100 pounds of body weight. If it weighs 130, 140 pounds, I go with 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs, a full dose of everything twice a day. Okay, but then he also needs to get the Occutive, take 2 of those twice a day, and the Vision FX, take 2 of those twice a day. don't forget, his optic nerve needs to be happy. So he needs the I-26. So he has plenty of stuff going on with his white matter of his brain and spinal cord. Okay, the I-26. I take 3 of those twice a day, I-26. I like the chewables. I like the French vanilla to come also. And our most popular one is vanilla. Let's see here.
So that I-26 is really helpful for the repairing and rebuilding of the optic nerve.
Oh, yes.
Boy, that is great news.
Because the optic nerve has a coating of white matter. It's made in the brain. People forget your optic nerve is made in the brain. Comes through the skull, through a whole tunnel in the skull to the back of the eye. So you want to protect that optic nerve from the places being formed in the brain all the way into the eye to where it opens up into a big, like a big crown in the back of the eye. Okay.
Well, I'll definitely be loading up on my I-26, Becca. Thank you, Doc.
You bet.
Yes, absolutely. So, Dr. Wallach, I have a question. How important are essential fatty acids for eye health and avoiding bottled oils or fried foods?
Okay. Well, for eye health, of course, your eyes need all 90 essential nutrients, just like all other tissues and organs and various parts and pieces and so on. And this is why we have EFAs and EFA pluses. I take 2 or 3 of the EFAs twice a day, and I take 2 or 3 of the EFA pluses twice a day. Okay. And I just make sure I'm getting everything I need. When you look at my kitchen table, I think it's close to 50 bottles. 40
You don't
50.
want anybody sitting at the table with you, Doc. I've seen your table.
There's no room for them. Okay.
There's no room for them.
Yeah, but I have all my supplements there. And so I take them faithfully. And when I finish my evening ones, I make my morning ones. So they're ready to go in the morning. When I come in for breakfast in the morning, they're already done because I made them that night after I finished my evening pills, tablets, and capsules, and powders and liquids. It's like crazy. And people say, well, Walter, you're spending an awful lot of time and money. Well, I have to pay for it like everybody else. I'm not getting them for free. I have to pay for them. Okay. And, I'm 85 years old using the Chinese method of aging. I'm 84 years old using the American method of aging, but that's not true because 84 is my birth date. It's not my age. You're already 9 months old when you're born. You're already 9 months old. Your birth date is not your age.
That's right. So, Dr. Wallach, you had mentioned nerves, the optic nerve.
Yes.
Longevity has a product called Synaptive. Would Synaptive be beneficial when it comes to even the optic nerve?
Oh, absolutely. Because the synapse and things are going on in the brain where it's making the optic nerve. So you want, I take 2 twice a day of the Synaptive. I take, that's, part of my 50 bottle collection on top of the kitchen table.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And let's go to, is it Adame? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, let's try one more time.
Hi,
There we go.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Yes.
I just want to thank you because you changing our lives to my wife and I. When we start taking your products, we feel a lot better. My wife, she was for almost 40 years arthritis, rheumatoid, and she feel a lot better. And I also do. So I just want to thank you for your products because we've been feeling a lot better. And also, I have a question. What be causing you're not absorbing the products or because I have a person who not absorbing, is taking the products, but is not absorbing. Excuse my English, because I don't speak too good, but I hope you understand.
You're doing great. You're doing
Where are you
great.
from?
I'm sorry.
Where are you from?
Oh, Texas. Oh, Mexico. But I'm staying in Texas.
Okay. So the not absorbing, okay, can be happening. Is you're talking about your wife now?
Somebody else is taking products, but not. They don't do any. They don't see any changes.
Have to check out what they're eating, because if they're eating wheat, barley, rye, oats, and buckwheat, it's destroying their intestinal lining, so they cannot absorb the vitamins and minerals. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. None of the bad foods. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No fried foods. No sugar. No carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go. Okay. And then keep trying all the 90 essential nutrients. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doc. And I also appreciate for your for your formulas. Thank you very much.
Okay. God bless.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Wallach, Donna just wants to say thank you to you for all your determination and knowledge that you have decided to share. And she is actually getting products to family and friends in Belarus. So she's super excited to help her friend and sister who is dealing with a condition called Hashimoto's and arthritis, and then also their mother in their late 90s. She's excited about the amazing story that's being created there as well.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, keep
Let's
us
go.
informed. Keep us informed about what's going on there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and Dennis, yes, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. That is correct. And no buckwheat. So the wheat, barley, rye, and oats have a protein in there that the body itself cannot break down and digest properly, which can then coat the villi within the intestines, which present this issue of absorption and killing off the villi from my.
Same thing is true with buckwheat.
And then buckwheat. Right. So buckwheat has that phagopyrene, Dr. Wallach, which is a chemical that is phototoxic on horses when they get into a field of buckwheat. You can tell because of the burns. It's the skin, the dermatitis, because of that phototoxin that is on the buckwheat plant itself. Let's go to Marilyn, and then we're gonna go back to Jill real quick. Let's see if we can get 3 more questions in, Doc. Okay. Marilyn, welcome to Daily with Doc. What question do you have today?
Thank you. Many customers, for their pets, they say, do I take Arthrodex or Perpetual or both? Can you tell me the difference? Not necessarily even ingredients, but the difference in the two, how they benefit the animal?
No,
and if I can interject here, Doc.
Go ahead.
So one thing about the Arthrodex is going to give you the main nutrition, the vitamins, the minerals, amino acids. Where adding Perpetual does have some of that, but it's adding more antioxidants. With our pets, they're close to the ground. They're walking without shoes on these areas that are contaminated and sprayed. They need more antioxidants in their diet to help protect them. And that's where the Perpetual and the Perpetual Plus come in. Perpetual Plus actually has I-26 added with it.
Whoa.
So I just wanted, I hadn't brought that information to your awareness, Dr. Wallach. So I just wanted to step in and share some information about that. So that's a great question, Marilyn. Thank you so much for bringing it to Daily with Doc. Did you have another question?
No, that's it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Perfect. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. And now let's go to Jill. Jill, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello there. Hi, Dr.
Hello.
Wallach. Sorry, customer earlier. I apologize. I met a mom today who was talking to me about her son He is in his mid-60s. There's a lot of information I don't have. But he had a torn esophagus that ended up in emergency surgery, and he ended up with a feeding tube and had to do dialysis temporarily. Now he's on the other side of those two things, but he still doesn't feel great. And they have to continually re-stretch his esophagus. So I'm wondering what you would recommend for him.
Well, do we know what he weighs?
I do not. That's what I said. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him yet.
Okay, let's go. Let's wait. We only have a little
I
bit of
know.
time here, so let's go with 100 pounds. Per 100 pounds of body weight, he needs 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. Half a dose of everything twice a day. If he weighs 130, 140 pounds or more, he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs. Okay, can take a full dose twice a day, once at breakfast, once at dinner time. But also, I would give him the ultimate enzymes. I would give him the ultimate enzymes. Make sure he gets the ultimate enzymes to say maybe 10 minutes before each meal. That's going to help him take a lot of the pressure and irritability off of his esophagus.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
you bet. Keep us informed.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Thank you, Jill, for that question. That sounds so painful. Oh, I can't imagine a torn esophagus. That's where all your food goes through, folks. Let's go to Connie. Connie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, finally got it done.
We hear you loud and clear. What question do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Oh, hi, Dr. Wallach and Becca. Thank you so much. I haven't started taking your product yet, but I've been listening a lot and I'm trying to get ready to do this. But my biggest problem is I want to see if you've had anybody like me where I have no B cells due to some treatment I had, Rituxan, you know, that was used for cancer and stuff. Anyway, it was a treatment for Wegener's vasculitis. And it's been many years since I got the disease, so I'm kind of stable, but I have kidney failure as well. So have you had any success at all with, like, for instance, that is it I-26 for immunity that would actually help my body maybe regenerate its own B cells? Because right now the doctor wants me to have a subcutaneous gamma globulin.
Okay, yeah, you could do the I-26 along with the healthy brain and heart pack. Okay, and let's see here. What was the original problem again?
I have no B cells.
Okay.
They're gone from that cancer treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I would go with the to cover the B cells and everything. I would go with the plant-derived minerals. That's going to help your bone marrow and your liver and all your organs and tissues that are involved in making B cells.
So you think my body might be able to start making them on their own without the
we don't know
gamma
unless we try.
globulin?
We don't know unless we try.
Okay. Well,
that smoking cigarettes and talking about it doesn't count.
Yeah, I haven't tried the gamma globulin yet either, so that's why I'd rather do your program first.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so the I-26 and what was the other pack you had?
Brain and heart pack.
Oh, brain and heart pack. I'm sorry, I just didn't hear that.
The brain and heart pack is the basic formula. It's 210 nutrients and it covers a lot of territory.
Okay, that and then the plant-derived minerals.
Plant-derived minerals.
Okay.
I'd go with 1 ounce twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight, once at breakfast, once at dinner time. And then again, don't forget the healthy brain and heart pack. It's 1 pack per 100 pounds of body weight if you weigh 110 pounds. Take a half a dose twice a day. If you weigh 140, 150 pounds or more, take a full dose twice a day. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Back to us in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, and
thank
Dr.
you very
Wallach,
much.
she mentioned kidney failure, so we don't want to
Oh.
forget the Ultimate Daily Classic.
Ultimate Daily, you're exactly right. You get an 8 triple plus, okay? Ultimate Daily Classic. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That will rebuild your kidneys. That will give your kidneys the ability to take care of themselves and do their job. Kidneys have an enormous spectrum of things that they're required to deal with. And everything from blood pressure to urination, cleaning up your urine, and so forth. It's one of those things where most people really don't appreciate the value the kidneys have for, I don't know, dozens.
Yep. Well, the one thing is
that's-
I had my dietitian told me to go be a vegan and not eat animal protein because the kidneys don't like to process that. Because so I've done that, and that's gotten my numbers back up a little bit, so that helps.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Your kidneys, when they're 100%, they can handle anything.
Right. Well, I appreciate all that. Now I know what direction to go, but I will call in and get that taken care of then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all your help. Appreciate it.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Connie, thank you. And so, Dr. Wallach, being a vegan, is it important to supplement with amino acids to make sure that you're getting amino acids
Yeah.
that may not be
I'm
available?
I'm not a big fan of being a vegan. Okay, so that's not one I want to encourage people to do. Okay, they can eat wild game. They can eat animal products from the farm. They can eat fish. They can eat chickens and turkeys instead of eating beef and lamb. And they can eat rabbit. There's all kinds of stuff they can do if they want to avoid eating calves and so forth. But don't become a vegan. Okay, it's very problematic. Don't forget your 90 essential nutrients.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And as I mentioned, the Ultimate Daily Classic, I started scrolling down, and one of our coaches also mentioned the Ultimate Daily Classic for kidneys. So we are in a very smart group here, Dr. Wallach. And if I could have my co-host join me on the screen, we are at the top of the hour, and it is time to say good hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
For those, yes, who are joining us live. And for those of you who are watching the replay, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, we do have an amazing team of certified holistic health coaches available by phone at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. This is for the people who are not already working with somebody. The person that referred you to this program, the person that you've been in contact with before, that is your first point of contact. And just as an extra for all of those listening, in getting more and more information to help yourselves, AJ, one of our co-hosts, has joined together with pharmacist Ben and put together Ben Bites as kind of like a grandchild. We're a child of critical health news, and pharmacist Ben Bites is a grandchild of critical health news, a child of Daily with Doc. So I'm excited that our team is empowered to create more opportunities for you to get information. And we'd like to empower you as well in joining our team and being a part of the solution. As you were listening to numbers, United States is hurting. The nice thing about it, Longevity, the company that Dr. Wallach started almost 3 decades ago, is international. And through creative shipping methods, products can get almost everywhere around the world. We're nutrient deficient, folks. We're not chemical deficient. Give us 90 days. And I know that you also will feel a difference. With our team today, we have Phyllis. Phyllis has been with Dr. Wallach the longest of all of us here on the team. Her and her husband, Andy, who were very instrumental in getting Dr. Wallach on the radio, which is where I first heard Dr. Wallach. and started my journey back to reclaiming my health from what the medical community was just pushing me off to pain management because there was nothing they could do. Well, they couldn't because they weren't giving nutrition. They were just giving pain meds. And Dr. Wallach, pain meds never got rid of any disease. And I'm living proof of that. So thank you, Phyllis, for all that you and Andy have done in the early days of bringing Dr. Wallach to the world. And Marilyn is very talented when it comes to putting information that is being said within the program into the chat, which is one of the biggest reasons for joining us here live on Daily with Doc, is you can then see what has been recommended through the work of Phyllis and Marilyn, because they're both doing it when they're both here, in making sure that people can then read what has been recommended, take a picture of it, take it to their health coach and say, okay, this is what Dr. Wallach said. I need it. And folks, it works. So thank you, Marilyn. And we have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who is my executive production manager of Daily with Doc, helping to keep us all organized. Thank you, Ruth Ellen. And she's running the broadcast as well. And we have Albert way down in South Africa, helping to let people in and keeping an eye on things. Yes, alles van die best way down south in Africa. And thank you, Albert, for all you do, because I know that it is coming close to 10 o'clock in your time zone, PM. And we have AJ. AJ has been very instrumental in helping us get on all the different platforms. So if you're on one of those platforms, make sure that you send us some love, like, subscribe, or comment, whatever it is, to let us know that you are there. Or send us an email if you have questions at dailywithdoc.com. It is your questions that help give us fuel for our programs. So my name is Becca Dukes. Thank you again for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Don't forget to tune in Critical Health News on YouTube, and also goes to Rumble, correct, for Pharmacist Ben Bites in 2 hours. So make sure that you have those notifications turned on, so when they go live, you get notification and you can listen to even more information that is empowering you as an individual. And I want to say thank you, Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, for joining and being part of our listening audience here on Daily with Doc. Until next time.
One more thing. Happy 4th of July tomorrow, everyone in the United States, and there will be no show tomorrow.
Yes, no live show, no
replay.
Revisit. No revisit. No revisit. I'm saying this to one of our co-hosts. But it's a great time to catch up on some of the previous, and also take a look at our coaching program. If you've ever wanted to know how you can help others find a better health journey, the Certified Holistic Health Coach course put on by the Institute of Holistic Health, which Dr. Wallach is one of the founding fathers of, plus 2 of my dear and close friends are also founding fathers of, and they have allowed me to become the Director of Student Services in helping people get that knowledge and support their communities. So as we're working on ourselves and our families, and then we start working in our communities, and we have communities around the world, because that's where the coaches are, together we really can make a difference. So take a look at our coaching program. Go to Coach with Doc. That's CoachWithDoc.com. And don't forget Dr. Wallach and all of his publications that you can find at www.drjwallach.com. And he's holding up metabolic syndrome, which basically, yeah, I was honored to be part of that, because I was part of that metabolic syndrome group, that I've been able to use Dr. Wallach's program and recommendation to help myself, and no longer having so many of those different poor health conditions that are clustered under the umbrella of metabolic syndrome. My name is Becca Dukes. Until next time, be safe. Bye for now.
Happy 4th, Doc.
Hey.
Yes, happy 4th, Dr. Wallach.
Happy
And
4th.
everybody.
Happy 4th. Alles van die beste. Tot ziens. Lekker.
Alles van die beste en lekker slap.
Baie goed.
That's right. No matter where you are, folks, find something to be thankful for. They're all around you. Sometimes you just have to look harder than other times. Bye for now. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. Dr. Joel Wallach.